many things. I think in this case it stands for belt sander 206. There's the 3 bolts. And this is the belt. Yeah, so this goes over here. Goes on that trunnion. Isn't that nice? And then I have a T. I have a miter gauge. Is it around here? Where is it? I think it's downstairs. It doesn't fit in here. There's so many burrs on the edge here. I'll have to file that out to get it to fit. And there's a lot of pitting on here. This must have been out in the rain. Alright, channel's got a new sponsor. No. No, this is a toque. They gave it to me. Canada's Harbor Freight. So my favorite place to shop. I managed to do some before video, but I think that the intro I forgot to push record, so I have a little bit of video of that table for the ROCKWELL Delta 6x48 12-inch belt sander, disc sander. It's a mouthful. And the table is in terrible shape. So what I did yesterday was I filed out the little groove for the T slot, for the not T slot, but the bevel gauge, or the table saw miter gauge fits right in that, and that's pretty well what you use on that machine. So I didn't come with that tool, so I'm using the one off my table saw to clean out that groove, and I filed it out, cleaned all the rust out, wire brushed it, turned it over, removed, I scraped and wire brushed and sanded and removed that paint, that ugly green paint off the bottom side yesterday. And got another T-square. I think I'm gonna cut her down around here. It fits, but it's higher than the... Oh wait, it goes down. Okay, we're gonna have to keep working on it. I think that's gonna work. I was thinking I'd have to machine a little bit off the bottom, but maybe not. I think this must have sat outside for quite some time. There's a whole bunch of rust and pitting, or it was in a very damp garage. That's a possibility, or basement. So I'll keep working on it. That turned out pretty nice. It was just packed with rust in there, and once I got it all out, it fits fine now. The square, the T-square. I removed all the paint pretty well with the wire brush, and I used a couple of paint scrapers and stuff. Used a drill with a little round wire brush, about this round, and I used a big 10-inch wheel on the belt, on the bench grinder. With no shield, I removed the whole shield off the bench grinder, so you can really, clean it up. So now I'm just going to tape it up. Got some masking tape. Took up all this cast iron surfaces. It's been beat to hell, this thing. Look at all that nick. Is using it as an anvil. And the pitting, I think that's just from sawdust packed in there, and it absorbs moisture. And it just full of rust. And then a couple of spots here I didn't see. It's like it hit the belt sander or something. Or they used a little handheld angle grinder on here. So I don't know what. It suffered quite a bit of abuse, but it's in good shape. Other than that, I put a couple of one earplug I cut up with some scissors. I shoved it in this, brushed some of this on. I think it's going to be the right gray. The original gray paint was right underneath all that green, and it's a pretty close match. So we'll give some of this. And oh yeah, and look at this. You can see 1964. There, I just brazed that back together. I'll have to re-drill the 3 holes. 2 rolled pins on each end, and then that big pin is where the stud goes through to bolt it down. Got the idea there of how can I strengthen this up without going too crazy? It's a bad design because there's pressure right through here pushing these 2 pieces apart. So what I'm going to do to try and beef that up a little bit is So we're going to braze this right on the end here. Like that. And hopefully that'll give it a little more strength. So we got a little grinding to do. I got to run a drill bit through all these holes, everything, even this one, especially this one. And I'll try and get that brass out of that groove there. That's got to be clean all the way around. Alright, we just got to re-drill those holes. I couldn't get deep enough to clean all that stuff out of there, so hopefully I'll be able to drill that one out, that 1/4 inch. 60 degrees yesterday. It's down to like around 0 Fahrenheit right now, with the wind chill factors in the minus. So the shop got cool, really. I couldn't believe it got so cold in that period of time. Yesterday it was like hot. I was sweating. So we're back in the winter, and then so I brought that down to the basement this morning because the paint was still a little tacky. So we're gonna probably assemble it tomorrow, and that's the final step that I'm gonna do on the fixing it. No, I got one more step to do. That's not true. I got one more thing. I got to straighten up the alignment on the motor pulley. It's crooked as hell, and then we're gonna start using it. I think I'm gonna put up for sale my disc sander that I have. I won't ask very much money for it. I didn't pay much for it, so that'll go up for sale, and it'll free up the space I need to store that upstairs. And then the little belt sander that's bolted on that sanding station that I have is going to come off, and it'll come down here, and I think I'll keep it on a shelf. And if I do need it down here, I can set it up somewhere. Maybe I'll find a place to put it out so I can use it whenever I want. It's for small jobs, and when I got big, serious sanding jobs, I'll use that big one. So everything's got its first coat, and may only get one coat. And I've taped up the opposite side of this. Had paint. I think it was factory paint, but I don't think it should have been painted. It's a machine surface. Same with this. So I taped those up. And Rockwell started in 1919, and kind of, I think it got kind of dissolved into Boeing at one point in 2001, I think. It's hard to figure out what happened, but they don't make tools anymore. So I think that belt sander was made in 1968, or around there, between that and 73. So it's 50 years old. 55 years old. And I think they started making the belt sander in the 1930s as a separate, just a belt sander, not the discs attached. And they made the disc sander as well. I don't know what year they started making that, but then someone put the two together, and that's where you get this combination. It's a 6x48 inch belt sander and a 12-inch disc sander. And there's two cast iron tables. Not like the ones you buy today. You got to remove the table and put it on whichever part you want to use. If you want to use the disc sander, you got to put, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. Why wouldn't they send you two tables? And they're usually cheap aluminum tables. This has cast iron. Almost the whole machine is pretty well made out of cast iron. There's absolutely no plastic in it. This is a setup I have. I bought this disc sander quite a few years ago, maybe about 8 years ago. And then I wanted a belt sander, so I bought this. Bolted it right on here. Just drilled a couple of holes. There was room on this corner. It's a pretty good setup. That Rockwell Delta belt sander is going to be miles ahead of this. So this cabinet and disc sander are going up for sale. I'm going to keep this part. This will go downstairs. It's got the underdrive. So if you like the video, subscribe or give me a thumbs up or whatever you want. Leave a comment. I like making YouTube videos. I do it for fun. It's free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.